YouTube, what's going on? It's your boy Buddha back in the building for a video I've been meaning to make for a while, but I want to just sit down, record it so I can edit it and get it up for anyone who has the question, any kind of question regarding Ark extensions. I was inspired to finally sit down and record this video due to a comment I received recently. Thank you to Intwa Dumela. I don't think I said that right, but I tried. And this person just asked, anyone know how to level up Ark skills? So I figure instead of just answer this via text, why not make a whole video about Ark extensions, because that ties directly into the answer for that question and many others in regards to, how should I use Ark extensions, because there are different scenarios in which you should be using those Ark extensions, different ways to use them, and it all depends on the most efficient, the best return on those Ark extensions for each specific Ark. But what we can do is group certain Arks together and talk about why it's better to use your extensions one way versus another when comparing those groups. So for those of you who are brand spanking new and are unaware of what Ark extensions are, anytime you pull a duplicate of an Ark, you will get one ticker added to this extend feature in the bottom right here, which takes you to this page. You can see all of the different stats and skills that are available on this Ark, and then you can allocate your Ark extension points to increase these specific things by a certain amount. You can see that with the stats that each Ark comes with, there is a cap to the amount that you can increase those. However, if we take all of these away and go down to the skills, we can go ahead and increase this, to my knowledge, by an infinite amount. If anyone does know the cap for increasing the Ark skill extensions that you can teach your units, please feel free to enlighten me, but to my knowledge, it could go up to as high as you want. Maybe 99, because it looks like the number 99 fits in there, but I haven't tested that out. Just know that you can increase it by a very, very significant amount, seemingly limitless amount. However, the stats, when increasing those do have a cap. It does vary, so just keep that in mind. You can also use Ark extensions to increase Arks that come with an active skill, which you can tab over and see here. Not all Arks come with them. Typically, your URs, some SSRs, and some SRs and Rs have these skills, as we can see on Dimensional Rift. It does have the active skill, high chance to immediately kill all enemies, a very useful Ark skill when you need it in a pinch. But the way you increase that, same thing, go to that bottom tab on the right, and you can see Ark skills is right here. I have already leveled it up to 10. 10 is the max, which did require an increase of up to 99. I'm wondering if 99 is the max. I'm wondering if 99 is the max for the teachable skills as well, since it does just fit really clean right there. Like I said, feel free to confirm that with me. But for Rs, I believe it takes 99 duplicates to get to level 10. For SRs, I think it's 50 or 49. We can tell if I go check out Beast Hunter. Yeah, SRs require 49 to max out the skill, which I think Dimensional Rift and Beast Hunter are the only Rs and SRs that have an Ark skill, and they've said they're never going to release them again, so I guess that knowledge is kind of pointless. But for those specific two Arks, for Dimensional Rift, you need 99 duplicates. For Beast Hunter, you need 49 duplicates, hence the 49 right there, getting that to level 10. Side note, Beast Hunter, all of your Ark extensions should be going to your Ark skills first, especially in the case of Beast Hunter, and really any type of Ark that comes with a skill, you'll want to max out that active skill first. Just because the effects from that active skill become infinitely more valuable when they are at max level 10 compared to when they are not. And it's confusing for some. Shout out to Kruger in the Buddha Gang Discord. He was going back and forth with Ivaz about, what an Ark skill means, since it gets confusing because you have the Ark level and then you have the Ark skill level. Two different things. The Ark level is in regards to the souls that you spend to level it up. The Ark skill level refers to the duplicates that you need to provide the Ark skill in order to level it up. And just to clarify, if I want to run this Ark at a level 1, at an Ark level 1, it does not affect the Ark skill level here. So even if I run an Ark level 1 Beast Hunter to save souls on that run, whenever I pop the active skill, it will still have the same effects that it does at level 10. So keep in mind that your Ark skill level never changes depending on your Ark level itself. Very important distinction, a question that a lot of new players have, so I wanted to make sure to throw that in there. And then in regards to SSRs, you will need 10 of each, including the first copy you pull. So the original copy plus 9 duplicates in order to get those Ark skills up to level 10. You can see that by using 2 duplicates of this Lamvalion, I was able to get it from 2 to 4. The duplicates have a 1-to-1 level ratio in regards to the Ark skills. And again, that's where you're going to be wanting to spend those Ark extensions for Arks with active skills, which is kind of a segue into the next segment of this guide, and that is identifying your categories of Arks when determining where to spend those Ark extensions. Like I just said, if they've got an active skill, there's the first place that you'll want to start with your Ark extensions. After that, you'll want to identify if it's an Ark that you're going to be running in battle, or if it's an Ark that you're going to be prioritizing teaching skills with. Some of them do bleed over. For example, Swordsman's Tale is an Ark that you're going to use frequently in boss battles, but it also comes with skills like Sorcerer Slayer, Sword Boost, No Attribute, Attack Raise, all very, very important skills, very high value skills to teach your units. And then you're kind of at a crossroads. If it's an Ark that you're going to be running a lot in battle, let's say Icy Guardian, I'd say is a better example. For Icy Guardian, something I run all the time on my physical DPS. Are there any skills in here that I really want my units to learn right out of the gate? No. Night Slayer is really nice for PvP. Auto Crit is a bit costly if it's a skill that I'm going to be teaching manually. And Proud Force already has a times 30 multiplier on it. That's also because I do have it at 100%. But for these early tier skills, it doesn't take a lot of runs in order to teach a unit that said skill. So in this case, for Icy Guardian, my priority is increasing the stats that I run on this Ark. Primarily, initially, because this is a physical DPS Ark that I'm going to run, I am going to increase the strength first. And as you can see, like I mentioned earlier, the stats are individual as far as the max amount that you can increase them. After I use 2 extensions for Icy Guardian on the strength stat, I can no longer put any more extensions into the strength stat. And as you can see, also like MP is grayed out. I am not able to put Ark extensions into here even if I wanted to. For the means of the showcase, this is exactly how I would prioritize the Icy Guardian extensions. I'm going to put it on the most dominant stat that I know it's going to affect whatever characters I'm running this Ark with. In this case, it's going to be strength. And luckily they limit that for me, so I can only do it twice. I am going to run out of extensions after that. But after that, if I was able to get another duplicate of Icy Guardian, I would probably put it into HP, then defense, maybe mind in order to increase those Proud Force heals. Once I've maxed out the stats of the Ark that I'm going to be running often, then I would move on to changing and upping the skills based on the extensions duplicates that I was able to pull. So right there, it kind of gives you the priority in where you want to spend your Ark extensions. Is it an Ark that has an active skill? Dump it into there. Next, you consider, is it an Ark that you're going to be running on top of characters often? If yes, and it doesn't have any critical top tier skills that you want to teach your units quickly, then put your Ark extensions into the stats, the relevant stats that you want to increase for that Ark. After that, you want to dump your duplicates and Ark extensions into the skills that are most prevalent on said Ark. A great example of where I do this is the Phantom Tower Ark from the Tower of Trials. This is not an Ark that has an active skill. It is not an Ark that I run in battle, so I don't care about the extensions to stats. But what it does have are its 2 top tier skills, HP plus 2 and Decoy. As you can see, I've got times 48 on HP plus 2, and I've got times 39 on Decoy. That's because I have already put some Ark extensions into those skills right there. You can see I've done 1 into Decoy, 2 into HP plus. Now there is a bit of critical thinking here that Tweaks enlightened me to, and Crypt, I believe, in one of the podcasts, and that is that you don't need to go crazy on your Ark extensions in regards to skills that you can teach. You got to think of the different multipliers that there are. Obviously, when you're running a stage alone, it's going to do 1 times the amount of AP rate, and that is the amount of AP you're going to accumulate for that run. However, the 3 numbers that I want you to think about are 8, 18, and 40. Okay, those are the special event dungeons that you access in training gates. Here we can see the special one that I have already cleared for the day. This run, you can do it 3 times a day, and the max in the final tier in that stage gives you 40 times the amount of AP points. When this isn't up, I believe it returns a specific time during the week. I'm not sure exactly when, but the other one is called the Super Skill Study Dungeon. Yeah, right here, down here, you get the Super Skill Study Dungeon, and this gives you 18 times your AP rate. And finally, the tier that's always open is the normal skill study dungeon that we did just see them lower the orb cost for, which makes it way more lucrative to do as it gives an 8 times multiplier to your AP rate. Now, why are those numbers important? Because we can use them to determine the target multiplier for our Ark skills. I'm sorry if I'm losing you. We're getting a bit mathy, but hopefully if I show you this example, it will make sense. So I know that the lowest tier of AP dungeon boost is 8 times, as I explained, and the target AP to teach a unit this HP plus 2 skill is a total of 780, as we can see here. So with that knowledge, you now do a little bit of math, take 780 and divide it by 8. On the calculator, that gives us 97.5, so let's just round it up to 98. That means that if I use enough duplicates to extend HP plus 2 to a times 98, that means that in one run of the 8 times study dungeon, the normal skill study dungeon, I can immediately teach the unit that skill. I don't want to explain that to death because I feel like that's already kind of confusing. I kind of confused myself while I was trying to talk about it. But hopefully I did an okay enough job. You could watch this a couple times and get the meaning, right? Use the total AP that's needed to be taught. Use your Ark extensions to increase this AP rate to the point at which one run of the normal AP dungeon, which is a times 8, can teach you those vital skills in one run immediately. Since it does cost your orange orbs, that's going to give you the most return on your orange orbs spent. If you can teach a unit the high tier skills in one run, you're going to appreciate it a lot more than if you couldn't. And that's about as in-depth as I'm gonna get on this Ark extension guide. I'm gonna let the viewers, people like me who are a little more slow processor, I'm gonna let you digest that information, come up with further questions that you have, throw it in the comments. And something else I should note as well is that while playing the game, through mission rewards, through whatever event login bonuses that they give, you're gonna accumulate these prayer Stardusts. These act as an Ark extension for the relevant Ark tier. So you can see Prayer Stardust SR, we've got Prayer Stardust SSR, Prayer Stardust LR, and then I've got 3 UR there. Very, very important. I am hoarding these. I have never spent anything except the SRs to increase the Beast Hunter Ark. Use your Prayer Stardust SRs to get your Beast Hunter to max level ASAP. That, I can tell you, is a guaranteed priority over everything else. Other than that, I'm hoarding mine because I don't need them, right? Ark extensions are more of a luxury, except for Beast Hunter level 10. They're more of a luxury than anything, so I'm kind of hoarding them until I really have a true focus that I can use them for. But in regards to your Stardust, to use them, you go to a specific Ark Let's go to the God of Ruin just to flex my skill level. Level 4, 4 duplicates, easy. Go to the extension. You see that it does say 0. In order to actually use your Stardust, you have to click up here in this green arrow next to extend, and it gives you that ability to use your Stardust as many as you have in your inventory. So again, just another thing to point out, since we're talking Ark extensions, if you have a goal for something you're trying to extend, make sure to use these Ark extensions as well, but don't be too lax with them. Be a bit frugal because they are rare. As you can see, over 6 months, I've only gotten 3 Prayer Stardust URs, which are extremely useful because, as we know, SSRs and URs are a 1-to-1 in active skill extensions. So I want to make sure if I use 3 duplicates, they're being put to use. I'd probably save them. I would use them on Gwar, just because of how useful Gwar's active skill is. But without that, it's definitely not needed, so I'm just hoarding them in the meantime. Okay, I think that's about all I got for the Ark extension guide. I covered kind of what categories of Arks you want to identify when determining where you want to use your Ark extensions, right? We've got our active skill Arks, we've got our Arks that we run often, and then we've got our teachable skill Arks. And like I said, some of these Arks blend together, so maybe if you're considering an Ark, like I said, Silver Gray Swordsman, you know, you may want that Sorcerer Slayer AP rate increased even more so than you want the stats increased. So those are going to be a little bit gray. I highly suggest going to your Discord, to your Reddit, to your forums, and asking, you know, if you were me, what would you do? Because everyone's going to have a different situation in those gray areas. But for the most part, just to identify what groups of Arks are what, it's going to help you make these decisions that much easier. And I hope I was able to help. I hope I covered a lot. Again, any other information, if I misspoke, if I missed things, let me know in the comments, so not only can I learn, but anyone else who's browsing the comments can learn, because I'm sure there are other tips and tricks that I don't know as a 6-month-old player. I just wanted to make sure to get this out because I did see the Ark skill question pop up a couple times recently. With that being said, I think that's all I got for you this time. So, like we always say, work hard, play harder. See you in the next video.